What's up, everybody? This week we want to let you know about something very important and very near and dear to our heart. Peak paver season. It's officially time. That time of year where you go out back, you start thinking about that patio and what you want to do to your backyard. Well, if you're in the market for a new patio, we've got you covered. Our friends over at Ruther Material have Nicolock blocks, and I got to tell you, they are quality. They've got a good variety, and they got the durability you're going to need this summer. So if you're in the market to get a new patio put in, be sure to reach out to Ruther Material. They've got locations in Succassana and North Bergen, and check out their Nicolock pavers. They're great for everything, guys. They're great for that patio you're thinking about building, of course. They also got ones that are great for a driveway. You know, maybe you want to upgrade that driveway and make it a little bit more beautiful. Really, any option you could imagine, they've got you covered. Stop by Ruther Material today and get peak paver season going. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, are you in the market for a new ride? Well, we've got you covered. Sansone Auto Mall in Avenel is the largest auto mall in New Jersey, and they've got over 50 acres of cars. We're talking the biggest car lot I think I've ever seen in my life. So large that they have a parking garage to store all the cars they have for sale. If you're in the market for a Toyota, Mazda, Kia, Hyundai, Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and a partridge in a pear tree, they have everything you need. And the best part, they've got great prices. So if you're in the market for a new car, you're looking to get yourself into something with some new wheels on it, head over to Sansone, grab yourself a new vehicle, and be sure to tell them the Garden State sent you by.
Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
Dunkin' sponsorship is looking great.
Actually, on the way here at a red light, because I don't text while I drive, I DM Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah?
Said sponsor us.
And what'd they say?
Well, it's like 6. It was like 6 in the morning, so they didn't get back to me yet. But
I figured that's like their prime hours of operation. You would think that they have people working at that time.
Wait, but you said you don't text and drive, but you DM Dunkin' Donuts.
at a red light.
That's still illegal. That's still illegal.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, because the vehicle's on and you're in the middle of the roadway.
And
that's
it's not in park.
Yes. Did you park your car?
I parked it.
Okay, then
and turned it off.
Fine.
It's kind of like, is it a myth? I always heard like people drinking and driving. Once you put the key in the ignition,
Yeah, then it's like
then it's a
technically
crime.
illegal.
Like
yeah.
if you keep your keys on your lap, it's not.
Yeah, like say you go out, you're drunk, and you're like, I can't drive. I'm going to sleep in my car. As long as the keys are not in the ignition, I believe that is fine. But if the keys are in the ignition, you could get a DUI.
That's so interesting.
I'm pretty sure. Don't hold me to that.
So with texting and driving, what constitutes if the keys are in the ignition? Am I texting and driving?
If the car is on,
Yeah. If I'm sitting in front of my house,
Is it in park?
is it in park?
That's the differentiator. The Park or Drive.
Yeah.
The Prindle.
Yeah. If it's in park, it's safe.
So if I'm in a red light and I put my car in park and I start texting and the cop is right next to me, like I'm cool.
No, you're in the middle of a street.
But I'm in park.
But you're in the middle of a
Yeah,
street.
I think it's different.
Yeah,
you're on a
you're
roadway.
not in a spot. Yeah, my
but if I'm
brother,
in-
my
what?
brother got a ticket for that.
Texting and driving?
He looked at his phone for the GPS while he was at a light.
Was it for the GPS?
It was.
It really was?
Claimed it was because he didn't have anything to hold it, so he just picked it up to look.
That's
look at where he
everyone's
was going.
excuse. It's everyone's excuse. I'm lost. I'm not used to driving this route. I'm just looking at my GPS officer.
Sir, you live 3 miles from here.
They probably hear it all the time.
What's interesting though, I just saw something in Pennsylvania. They just passed a law, like called a no-touch law, where even if you touch your phone while you're behind the wheel, you're gonna get up to like a $450 ticket.
Really?
Yeah.
The no touch law.
Let's look this up for a second. I'm curious.
Thank
But
God
you
we
know
don't
what?
live. Thank God we don't live there.
I saw somebody saying like they put it like into effect in New Jersey too, but I think that was false.
I almost feel like CarPlay is just as bad.
Because you're constantly staring at your big screen on your car.
And the screens on the cars are huge now.
It's easy to get distracted.
I love CarPlay.
I love
think
CarPlay,
it's-
too.
It's like my favorite thing. You might be right, but I still love it.
I'm just waiting for CarPlay to allow YouTube so you can watch YouTube videos while driving.
There's hacks for that.
I know there are.
I see those on TikTok.
I haven't got that deep into it though, where I hacked mine.
You just got to put your phone up.
That's what I do. Just
But
kidding.
I thought this was super interesting. So
Seriously.
it's illegal to look at your phone on the GPS, like if you hold your phone, but
Yeah.
it's not illegal if you have a paper map.
Oh, interesting. So here,
That's
Okay,
worse.
hold that thought.
that's a good
Josh.
thought. Which, by the way, I always talk to my dad about that because he grew up in this Union County area of New Jersey, and when he first got a job in Manhattan, he would drive in, and I was like, "How did you figure that out?" Because I know that seems ridiculous, but when you get around Newark Airport, when you've never driven there,
It's a mess.
insane.
it's like, how do you figure out that
Yeah.
you're gonna end up on Turnpike South, or like you're going the wrong?
Even
And
with
he
the
just-
GPS,
Yeah, he had the
make
map. Had a
mistakes.
map. You're just driving with a map, which is way more dangerous because they're like the
That's what I mean,
size of a
yeah.
pizza box. But this says, I'm asking online. I'm looking for the Pennsylvania driving law. It says any handheld interaction, so holding, scrolling, dialing with more than one button, supporting the device anywhere in your body, or reaching for it in a way that takes you out of your belted driving position. So any interaction, it sounds like, with the device is gonna.
But not in New Jersey.
No, this is
No.
PA. These are, and you know what, they need it because you see them on the highway and you wonder,
These Pennsylvania
Oh,
drivers.
they're
yeah, are
the
they
worst.
intoxicated? What's going on in that PA driver's car? They're very dangerous.
I mean,
they're like,
even
"Oh,
when they're
you're just
not
from
on their
Pennsylvania."
phones, they're dangerous.
So here's what's still allowed. They're still allowed to use voice activated commands, GPS systems, which, by the way, you can make that claim. I was using the GPS. Bluetooth calls and audio streaming are okay.
But that's hands free though.
Yeah.
You can't be holding your GPS device.
Yep. Exactly.
Interesting. Do you guys remember MapQuest?
Yeah. Printing out the.
Yeah,
It's kind of
I
crazy.
used to always print out the maps like before a family road trip when I was a kid, and
You would like that. I could see you being like, let me get the route.
I thought it was so cool. Yeah, and then like when we finally got a Garmin GPS, I was like, this is the
Yeah.
future. Like before the smartphones came in.
Well, I was just thinking about how we so take for granted that there were so many different pieces of technology all around us doing different functions that all just combined into one over the course of like 10 years.
Yeah.
The fact that people used to buy a GPS from Garmin for $600 or whatever it
They were
was.
expensive.
My neighbor used to get a new one every couple of years, and he would give, like when I got a car, he gave me the old one. And I don't know. It's funny because at that point, I feel like I had an iPhone. Oh, maybe not yet. That might have been around when the iPhone was getting big when I was like 17. Yeah, I don't know. I probably had one, but nonetheless, people used to go buy a GPS. It's like kind of crazy to think Garmin lost an entire segment of their market share. Like that, how much of their market was just selling GPSs, and then
They were top of the line.
Google Maps comes out and they're like, "Well, I guess that's over with."
Yeah.
Shout out to Garmin for pulling off the switch to the watches.
Is Garmin's biggest thing now like for fitness? Because
I
I
think
feel like I
it's-
always see Garmin watches.
I think it's a core thing. I think they do a lot of higher end technology stuff. Like I think they do like sonar stuff for boats and yeah, like they do
true.
like really crazy stuff.
So
But
they're fine.
I was reading about how when the GPS market died overnight, because basically Google Maps releases their thing and Apple Maps releases theirs overnight. You figure GPSs are useless. They had to pivot. So kind of interesting business case study if you ever read into it. But
Good times.
for this it sounds like as long as you're not holding it in your hand, you're going to be good to go. Now it does say you can make an emergency call, so drivers can still call 911 or relevant emergency services. So maybe there's an argument you could make there.
Can you do a search for New Jersey? Like when is it allowed? When am I allowed to use my phone in my vehicle? Like I want to see if like at a red light. If
No,
you
you definitely can't because I'm pretty sure I've heard other people here because my brother got a ticket for it in California at a red light.
Did you guys see the kid that
But I'm
got
sure-
he was eating a sandwich and he got pulled over?
and the cop thought he was
It's
texting.
really funny.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Wait, but technically that's illegal too.
Is it really?
Why?
I'm pretty sure you can't eat, like they could technically pull you over for eating.
Then how did people used to use maps? And that was
I don't know,
legal.
but I'm pretty
I'm sure
pretty
you were supposed to pull over with a map. I bet that was the rule. Like pull over on the side of the road and look at your map.
yeah, instead of driving with
But
the
you
map
know,
in
like
two
in
hands.
the old movies, they got a map across the steering wheel, and they're
Yeah. Well, I think it's like if you're at a red light, you could look at a paper map, but you can't look at your phone.
so it's the same thing. It says what's allowed: hands free only. So Bluetooth calls, speakerphone, voice assistance. No manual interaction.
I want to see those legal exceptions.
So legal exceptions: you may use the phone with one hand while one hand remains on the wheel if it's handheld. And these are the reasons: you have reason to fear for your life or personal safety,
Fair.
which is subjective.
Me 50% of the time.
You believe a crime is occurred against you or another. Oh, that makes me feel better because sometimes I saw a guy that was trying to break into a car and I was driving past and I couldn't turn around. So I called 911 and I'm like talking to the operator and I'm thinking, is this operator going, are you driving right now? Like,
but you're reporting a crime.
I was reporting a crime. I had
legal.
to. I couldn't pull over. Like I was on a main. So interesting. So in the other ones you're reporting, that was on, by the way, that was Apple CarPlay. So I guess not, it wasn't handheld, but you're reporting a fire, accident, serious road hazard, medical or hazardous material emergency, or you're reporting a dangerous or impaired driver.
It's crazy because you become the dangerous driver when you are reporting a dangerous driver.
Yeah.
Well, some
Chain
people
effect.
Well, hey everybody, you're listening to the Garden State Podcast. Welcome back.
The only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week.
I was thinking, I really wanted to do the intro this week, and you guys were gung ho.
I mean, you had the perfect transition right there. You just had to do it naturally. You could have been like, take a deep breath.
All right, hold on, let's try this again.
You're listening to the Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast.
I got it. So we're gonna do this. Crazy, man. Crazy about the cell phones. Well, hey everybody, you're listening to the Garden State Podcast. Welcome back. I'm Josh Sobo.
You didn't do the line though.
The whole thing.
Yeah. That's your staple, bro.
Well, I'll do it next week. We're gonna gear back up for it.
And you don't have to start with hey. I think if you go like, you're listening. You know
So
what
just
I mean?
just say it.
I think you just go right into it, brother.
Okay.
Is it here or no this week? I always mess that up.
Here or no?
Like
What?
that you want to hear this week or no this week? I always forget.
You're listening to the Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week.
Here this week.
Yeah.
See, I always
I thought it was no too.
All the news you
Whoa.
need to know this week.
Yeah.
It's definitely no.
Now
It
you
flows
just
better.
you just tripped me out. I don't
See,
know
because
what
when
it
I
is.
do it and when you're not here, I remember one week I said it wrong, and then like you were telling me like I said it
When you
wrong.
said
so
it,
now
it was
now I overthink it. I'm like, which one is it? And that's funny that we're like split here.
It's gotta be no.
Let's hear
flows
it.
so much
Let's
better.
get a quick little.
Did I just Mandela affect myself?
Let's check it out. Let's just review an entire episode.
You're listening to the Garden State.
Director's
You're
cut.
listening to the Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. Here, my name's Josh Sobo.
I think it switched at some
See, he
point in
was
time.
right.
Or do you
It
switch it
switched
up?
at some point in
No,
time.
because Chomik said no one week, and I was like, that's what it was. You said
Wait, go back to Spotify
Yeah.
and just scroll down as far as you could.
All right, let's go way back.
Like, let's just make sure it's always been here. Like,
Let's
go,
go to
to
the-
2022.
Let's go to the first episode because the first time
Did
we
you
ever-
do it the first one or
Yeah.
maybe the second one?
Hey, this is Jersey.
2022. Let's see what I said.
Wow.
Wow, long intro.
I held that really long.
You're listening to the Garden State.
What's up? You're listening to the Garden State
Sound
Podcast,
quality
the only
sucks.
podcast that gives you all the New Jersey news you need to hear this week. My name is
Stayed
Josh.
the same, consistent.
Here-
That's
Correct the
weird.
record.
But you said all the New Jersey news.
Yeah, I said it different, but
And you
made-
were more chill. You're like, what's up?
I know. I want to be more like that. Wait a second. You know what's
What's
funny
up? You're
is
listening to the Garden State.
I listened to this months ago and I was like, I love the vibe of how chill we were. We had no.
Fast forward to like middle of the pod
Well,
or
like,
something.
listen to the intro, then you start talking. Like we're just very like mellow.
Sobo.
I'm Josh Chomik.
How you doing, Josh?
This is our first time recording a full-length podcast.
The energy's the same. Like I bounce off you. We've kind of channeled
I think,
ourselves.
yeah,
into
we just
this.
didn't really know what we were doing.
Interesting.
Good times.
Guys, so we have a few stories this week, obviously, to get through. There's a lot of news happening in New Jersey around elections. We just had a primary. Did you guys vote?
I voted.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys get it? You didn't vote?
No.
Oh,
Why didn't you?
I was just telling him last night. My vote wouldn't have mattered. This is the first time I didn't vote in something, and I was
Everyone
like, whatever.
says that.
You
My
were
vote
you were
wouldn't
a
have mattered.
big Ross Baraka guy, I think.
Oh, I was gonna vote for him, yeah, but I was like, it wouldn't have counted.
I met Roz the other week, actually.
Really?
I did.
What was he like?
Really cool guy.
Was
Yeah.
he nice?
Super nice. Super busy, though.
Of course, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Did you get any words into him, or was it just like
Oh, yeah.
passing by?
No. We were doing something together, actually.
Dude,
So
look at Jimmy Parks go, man. Just
I heard he benches 315,
I believe it.
which is impressive. That is like one of the reasons I would vote for someone for governor, but I don't, I don't know
Yesterday-
what his policies even are, but that's pretty cool.
yesterday on the live stream, me and Jordan were doing TikTok live, selling some orders and packaging, and so like 3 people at once got to the chat, started pushing us, like, "Who did you guys vote for?" Blah blah blah, and I was like, "Oh, you guys keep asking." I wrote in Jordan because I really wanted him to win, and then everyone got pissed. They're like, "Keep laughing." When things don't go your way and the state goes crumbles
they were,
or something
I think they were
like that.
saying that at me because I didn't vote in the primary. Like this is
Yo,
literally the
people were
first
pissed.
election.
Wait,
of
You know what?
anything that I didn't
how,
vote in.
Hold on. There's something I need to say here. I've been noticing online when like they announced that Jack and Mikey won their primaries, right? people thought that like, oh, Jack's the governor now.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
there's a lot of
What?
people in comments who like just like
They
don't know the
thought
difference
that was the
between the
election?
primary and like the election.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, so that was gonna be my point. Is people talk about the state's gonna crumble now, depending on who you vote for. Guys, newsflash: the state's already crumbling. Welcome back to the Garden State Podcast, where literally every week we read about how energy costs are rising, our transit system doesn't function, and the people are striking. It just feels like if now's the moment where you're like, oh, guys, depending on who's elected here, the state's gonna fall apart. You were already kind of there,
Yeah.
my friends.
But people think it's going to get worse.
Yeah, but every
could
single
always get
election
worse.
we have now, everybody says this is the most important election of our lifetimes.
Well-
the world is going to crumble if we don't, elect the right person. I'm like,
I think it's funny. The last few governors in New Jersey, each one of them are like, "I'm gonna fix New Jersey." Right?
Yeah, well,
like-
Chris Christie was like, "I'm gonna fix New Jersey," and then Murphy's like, "I'm gonna fix New Jersey,"
Well,
and then both both Jack and Mikey are both like, "We're gonna fix New Jersey."
I
So it's
don't
like,
think a governor has the power at this point to fix New Jersey. I feel like there's more layers to it than the governor.
okay, you know how you fix New Jersey? You know
Yeah.
how you fix anything?
Yeah.
It's consistency, right? Like that's how you actually get anything done.
so
that's
we need a
what's-
dictator.
Well, that's what
what
the
he's
problem
saying.
with like right. It's great. Term limits are great. Don't get me wrong here, but it's very hard to get anything done in 4 years.
Bounces back and forth, you're saying.
Yeah.
So someone starts to do something, then the projects end.
Yeah.
Yeah, some would say that, Jimmy. Some would say this is the nature of the beast, is we're oscillating back and forth between the two sides. I don't know. I mean, like, I think, we're really good on this podcast about not getting political. We get as political as you would in line at Dunkin' Donuts while you're talking to a stranger. Like, yeah, you saw the
Jordan
election?
fights all the time politically with strangers at Dunkin'. I don't
Do
know.
you?
Yeah, of course. In the
I'm
line,
like, I think we do a good job of just being like middle of the road. They don't understand that Jordan is literally a left wing extremist. Like he is a Barakaite. No, I think Jimmy makes a good point. I think we do need a king, someone that's just going to rule over us for all eternity.
What are we talking about?
And no, I'm kidding. No, but it's interesting to see. We have Jack Citarelli. We'll get into that news story a bit later.
You
That
say
was-
Citarelli, isn't it Chitterelli?
It's
Which one?
Chitterelli.
listen, I say it.
Listen, Jackson, our Instagram comments left and right. We got to be saying his name right.
Yeah, we could change it to Citarelli.
Chitterelli.
Is it Citarelli?
I think so.
I always hear Chitter. I've never heard Citarelli.
I thought it was Mickey Sherrill. So that
Mikey.
and
Tough names here.
we were talking. Yeah, we were talking to someone connected to her campaign, and they were like, "It's Mikey."
Oh, you got corrected.
What's her real name though? Her name's not Mikey.
Yeah, it is.
No, it
that's her
isn't.
full name.
No, it's a political. It's kind of like
Yeah, I thought you have to use your real name.
Tulsi Gabbard
You can
or
use
like
whatever name you want, right?
Yeah,
It's
like
a
Joe
nickname.
Biden is Joseph Biden.
True. Or like what's the other?
So her name's Rebecca Michelle.
Oh, whoa.
What? Okay,
So where
I thought it
does
was like-
Mikey come from?
probably
Michelle.
childhood. Her parents called
Yeah.
her middle name Mikey.
Oh, that's awesome. So you can just pick whatever you want people to call you.
That's
So-
what.
so if I wanted to
JD
run-
Vance, right?
So if
His
you
name's
run-
not JD.
So
It's
if you
his
run
initials,
Jimmy, you could be Jimmy Parks if you wanted to.
I think most people keep their last name, but yeah.
Okay.
I think JD Vance's name isn't even JD Vance. That was his not his legal name. His original name was something else, different last name. Parents' divorce situation. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But nonetheless,
James Donald Bowman.
yeah.
That's interesting.
That's his last name,
Yeah.
Bowman.
Yeah. Born James
I
Donald
should know
Bowman.
this.
And but he currently goes by James David Vance. So he not only changed
Donald
his
was
last
his
name.
changes-
Donald was
middle
his
name.
father's name, I think, something like that.
Yeah. So
I want to change my name to like something sick. When I'll be Lightning McQueen Sobosinski.
I mean, by that point, we're probably going to have someone called that for president.
Yeah, with all these little kid names nowadays, parents are naming their kids just anything. They're just going, give me a verb, and that's the kid's name.
what's Elon's kid's name?
X?
Well, no, it's like a whole bunch of random letters and numbers.
I saw a meme the other day. It said some of you parents need to realize you're naming plumbers, not celebrities. It's like, yeah, I mean, like some of these names. It's like, remember when Michael Jackson named his kid Blanket? Or was that Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
And everybody was up and like, are you kidding me? Blanket.
That's a cool name.
And then some celebrity named their kid Apple. Maybe it was Michael Jackson as well.
I think that was Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, Apple was the kid's name.
I think.
Apple.
And then everyone was like, freaking out about it, you know?
Blanket's kind of cool because then your nickname's Blank.
Yo, Blank.
By the way, did you hear Reese got stabbed the other day?
Really?
No.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
Reese.
Is this some sort of joke?
No, Reese. You just mentioned Reese.
Yeah, but why are you not saying her last name? Like you're referring
What's
to
the
someone
punchline
else.
here? Oh, what did Reese get stabbed with? With her spoon.
No, with a knife, but you just ruined my joke. You're supposed to say with a spoon.
Oh.
Reese got stabbed.
It took us all a little
with her
bit.
spoon? No, with a knife. Great. Thanks, guys.
Josh, you do have, speaking of this conversation, you do have a kid on the way in a few weeks, so you
Yeah.
do have the power to like name this kid whatever you want.
We're thinking.
Why don't you go crazy
Yeah.
with this? Your first kid, you had a normal name. June's a great name, but this time just have a little more fun with it.
Blanket?
Not blanket, but like you have the power to name this kid whatever you want.
We'll see. I'm thinking through some names, and names are hard. I will say, when you guys have a kid, you'll realize it's like picking a username, but way harder.
Do you think Shelby will go into labor mid-podcast again?
We were planning that. We talked through
Just
that.
making sure.
I mean, we need it for the clips and for the views, so I'm hoping.
Yeah, we don't know.
I watched that clip the other day when like we put that emotional music over it, Josh. I teared up. Like that was. Do you ever go back and watch that clip?
I watched it recently. It made me emotional.
And then the picture of the baby at the end, dude. It
was a great memory.
So we need to remake. Yeah, we need to make that happen
Yeah,
again.
it was a special memory, and we'll see. Maybe it could happen again. You just never know. But do you guys want to get into some mailbags here?
Yeah, we got a lot of calls
We have
this
a lot
week.
of good
It's great.
calls. I really have been enjoying the mailbags a lot. Josh, we always give the number if people want to call in. What's the number to call in the mailbag?
You guys should all call into the mailbag. It's very easy, and the number is
908 67 99 99 3.
Good afternoon, Garden State. I just wanted to give you guys a call and share my opinion about the whole. You guys were talking about Wawa's like having you pay ahead, and then you started going into like the whole like why is everything locked up when you go places. I am just starting to see that now in my area. I live in Brick, and like if you go to a Walmart or Target over here, like entire sections are behind glass. It's not like a majority of the store, but it's all the like personal care items are behind locked doors. And I have to call an employee to get my face wash, to get a shampoo, to get like a nail polish, like all these small things. And like, I totally agree with Josh when he was saying like, lock up the people who are shoplifting and stealing and doing all this stuff. And like, let the rest of us like law-abiding citizens just like go about our lives. Like, it's so frustrating. And again, like, I know it's a small nitpicky thing, but like, I personally have 2 young children that I go shopping with. Okay. One, I don't like the fact that you even have to worry about going to like a Walmart or a Target because you're like, oh, like people could be here who are like, who have ill intentions, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be worrying about that when you're like going to a grocery store.
Thank you for that call. Yeah, no, I think that's the sentiment of most people is we don't want to deal with going to your local store, dealing with things being deodorant locked behind a pane of glass or plexiglass. What's the deal with that? Well, it's just ridiculous. And we didn't have, she said at one point, she said something to the effect of, what can we do about this? There's nothing we can really do about it. I disagree. And I think that we have to stop being kind of, what is the word, defeatist about this type of behavior. Like, we can, as citizens of New Jersey, of citizens of the United States, I guess depending on your state, we could speak up and say we're done with the crime. And here's a good example. Here's some data that was popular a few years ago that I pulled back up. In 2022, this is in New York City, just 327 serial shoplifters were responsible for about 30% of over 2,200 retail theft arrests.
22,000.
Sorry, yeah, 22,000 retail theft arrests. In 2023, about 250 individuals were arrested nearly 2,500 times, with 70% being repeat offenders.
So these people are just released, like they're arrested
Yeah.
and just released, and they just repeat. This is their life.
Yeah, and I know we're not New York City, but I mean, we're pretty close.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a segment of society, like 20% of people in New Jersey are shoplifting. I
No.
think it's a small group of people.
But it just keeps on happening.
And they just get away with it, and
So you're saying a bigger penalty for these people?
Yeah, and I don't know, like, let's see. She asked, what is the shoplifting penalty? So let's find out. What is the weightlifting penalty in NJ? I'm curious because I know in California there was that rule about $750. If you steal under $750, it's like a
slap on the wrist.
It's not a misdemeanor or whatever. Yeah. So under $200, it's a disorderly persons offense. So up to 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine.
So most people are probably getting the fine. They're not getting 6 months for that.
Yeah,
I would guess.
if that. And I think that's where the issue is. Why are we
so soft?
Why are we ranking theft? Oh, it's $200 or it's $500. No, the intent to steal is wrong regardless of what you steal.
100%.
If it's $5 or $200, you stole. And that's the issue is we want to make it easier for people to steal and give a ranking system so everybody just steals under $200 and gets a $1,000 fine.
It's stupid.
So it says $200 to $500 is fourth degree felony, up to 18 months in prison, or a fine of up to $10,000. Then it goes from $500 to $75,000, which is like a really big range. 3 to 5 years in prison. So if you steal more than $500, it's a 3 to 5 year prison sentence and a fine of up to $15,000. So
I wonder how often like these are actually like implemented. Like how I feel like most of these people just get away with a fine.
Well, I think it depends on what you steal. That might be that's the point with the ranking is like if I'm going to target to steal, I'm just going to steal under $200 worth of stuff every time.
Yeah, every time.
Do. It's like they just make sure they're not hitting.
They're smart, man.
That certain limit, so it's like you're not gonna.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of
penalty.
Crazy.
How much are you guys spending nowadays on deodorant? By the way, made me think. Because I went to go buy deodorant the other day. It's crazy expensive.
Well, because it's getting like healthy.
Like the Old Spice ones that I used to like are like $12. I'm like, no shot.
What do they put in the deodorant?
That's worth $12. So do you guys buy like cheap deodorant or like are you guys spending like going all out for your armpits and just spending $12?
I was buying
because I love
Dr. Squatch one for a little bit.
How much?
How is it? I was about to get it.
It was giving me such horrible rashes.
Ooh.
Like so bad. Like
really?
Yeah. So then I switched back to Degree.
How much are you paying for the Degree?
I honestly don't even know.
Because like I paid $6 the other day for some like plain like just regular Old Spice that smells normal.
The Dr. Squatch one was expensive though. I remember it being very expensive.
I've been meaning to try their soaps, the bars of soap.
You know
I've
what?
never tried it. I only tried the deodorant.
We need to talk about this though. I'm sorry because I'm reading about it as you guys. Why is deodorant getting more expensive? There is no like raw material in deodorant.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. Like, it's crazy. It's $12 for like the Old Spice Fiji, bro. I just want my Fiji, but it's $12.
This might be a clip.
What are you wearing nowadays?
I do the green one. That's 24 hours, no stain.
Degree?
Maybe it's Degree.
It's probably Degree because it's like
green,
a greenish
it's like a
blue
dark
color.
green.
It's like a dark green color. Let me see. I don't know if it's Degree, but yeah, that's the one. Degree.
So
that works.
What are you
We're
paying?
using the same one.
What are you paying like $7 from Target for that?
I usually go to Costco and get the big pack.
Oh, nice. So that's how you save money.
But I'd like to do Dr. Squatch. I can't afford $50 for 4 sticks of deodorant.
Well, if you went and go stole it, you only get like a little fine.
True.
You might like lose just a little bit with the fines, but
Yeah, good point.
it's a good call. Thank you.
Let's move on to another call here.
Hi, it's Jersey Jack calling back again. Hope you guys are doing well. I just ordered your 4th of July T-shirt. Very comfy. It came in quick, and
Thank you.
I'm really enjoying it. Worn it a time or two. I just wanted to give a little update on the running. It didn't really last too long. I found out my body wasn't really built for that. But if anyone's looking to get the 4th of July shirt, I'd suggest it. It's very comfy, and it looks good on me, actually, so I like it. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you, Jack.
Shout out to Jack for the advertising. Hey, that's a good note for the listeners. We do have, what are we, almost sold out of half of our 4th of July shirts.
Yes,
already.
they're going. They're moving.
So if you want to get one, thegardenstate.com, free shipping on every order, of course. And this time we went with a different shirt.
Yep, we made black shirts this year.
Yes. And also the material is a little bit more relaxed feeling.
Ooh. It's soft.
It's soft, yeah.
Yes.
It's like a lighter blend than what we normally would do, which
Oh,
I
yeah,
like.
you're wearing the old
This
one.
is the one from last year.
Yeah.
We used to do like a heavy shirt, and I feel like that's not a good move for the 4th of July.
You want it to be nice and light.
Yeah, and this is a nice shirt. So
Yeah, get your merch.
We do have those shirts. Thank you, Jack.
It made Jack look really good, apparently.
And Jack quitting running. Should we make fun of him for a little bit to get him motivated to start again?
Jack, Jack, I got a little peeved when I just heard that message right there. What did he say? He was just saying like
His body wasn't built for it.
Body wasn't built for it. What's that supposed to mean?
Neither was Chomix. Look at him now.
My body wasn't built at all for running. I think I'm very unathletic, but I push through the pain and I make it happen. What do you guys think about Jack's statement right there? I don't know. I think anyone could run if they really put their mind to it.
Okay, first off, with running, I don't see running like hitting a baseball.
Yeah, like you don't have to really be athletic.
Yeah,
it's mental.
It's like hitting a baseball is really hard. Like if you're as you get older and people pitch faster, because you have to have great hand-eye coordination.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of mechanics behind it, and of course there's mechanics in running. But everybody can run. Okay, not everyone. If you're wheelchair bound, you can't run. But if you can walk and you can run, you can go for a run and you can get better. And I think the issue is people don't want to push through the hump. Jack right here sounds like he's quitting a little early rather than pushing through. Come on, Jack.
And I'm pretty sure Jack is like probably 10 years or so younger than us too.
He just said he was
way healthier.
He told us that in his first call.
Yeah.
He said didn't he say we're strong? His generation?
Yeah, something like that.
He quit on it.
Wait a second.
Yeah, that's when he first said like we were being too harsh on that generation.
This is his first one from January 2025. Let's hear what he says about his generation.
I feel like you guys are turning into old men. You got to realize our generation is strong.
Ooh,
Jack. On the record, brother.
And then he's quitting running after what? It's been a few weeks.
I love it.
Jack.
I love it.
You're
Jack.
doing this to yourself, brother.
See, this is older brother motivation.
Yeah,
looking
now
at Jack.
we love you, Jack, and that's why we're here to call you out and encourage you that you can run if you really tried.
Get out there and run.
Just slow the pace down. You don't have to be running crazy fast miles. You start slow and then you build up into that. That's normal.
That's the issue with running is most people in their brains think I'm running an 8-minute mile.
That's why I got hurt.
Can't.
That's why I got hurt first because I was pushing too hard.
You got to let your ego die, humble yourself, go run a 12-minute mile, and do that for a little while until your body gets stronger. And that's the move. That's it.
Speaking of which, quick little weekend recap note for a second. I got to run with Josh Sobo for the first time.
What?
Since he started getting me into running.
Yep.
So we finally ran together and I went up to his hood. We checked it out and it was
How far?
It was a blast.
They did 5 miles. I gave up at 2. My knees started hurting again.
His knee's still bothering
I'm
him.
still messed up from that half
You guys are
marathon.
turning into old men.
But I saw you
sound like Jack.
I saw you posted on Strava yesterday. You went on a 1 mile run.
Just a quick,
so
1
you
mile.
back into it or what?
I'm trying to because of the 4 mile run. But I was also just inside all day yesterday. I'm like, I need to just go run around or something.
Oh, that's true. Josh, should we tell the listeners what's happening on July 4th?
Oh, yeah. Good point. July 4th, a firecracker 4-miler in Cranford.
Yep.
You guys are running it. I'm going to be setting up our booth there selling 4th of July shirts.
Yes. So if you guys want to, if you're not trying to run and you're trying to hang out the morning of 4th of July, come to Cranford, New Jersey, where Josh is going to be manning the Garden State booth selling some 4th of July shirts for the public.
It'll be a great time.
While we run the race. Jimmy, would you ever run?
Yeah.
Would you do the 4-miler?
He's in.
Probably not.
Why?
Not on 4th of July.
Why? It's the morning.
I don't think
What are you doing 4th of July morning?
I'm going to be around 4th of July morning.
Oh, you're going away?
I think so.
I want Jimmy to run so bad because the kid walks more than anyone I know.
Do you?
And-
I think Danny walks more than I do.
Nah, not so much anymore. But like you're always walking, but like you should replace that walking with running, brother. And I know you have like a whole thing. Oh, I like to walk and helps me to think and stuff. But like,
I think walking is better for you
than running.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like
Even
what,
for,
running
like,
could be bad for your knees.
Even for losing weight, because they're like after running or whatever, you just need to consume a lot of calories. Whereas walking, it's like it's just a lot easier on your body.
I guess I guess it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
Hey, Garden State. This is Tyler from Bridgeton again. Just finished up here this week's episode and wanted to chime in about New Jersey's cultural trust. To hop on your point about leaving the keys in the ignition and leaving the doors unlocked and just the trust of the 20 regular at the gas station. For one. Me being out in Bridgeton, out in the middle of nowhere, our house sits empty. Most of the time, we lock our doors, even if we have no neighbors, just because we're so far removed that even the next person the next closest person away, can't see what's going on in our property, even if we were, good friends with them. But our parents, my parents, I don't think have had their doors locked, once in, my lifetime. And I think that's a perfect example of how it's not a dying, cultural aspect of trust. I think it is very area dependent, like local dependent. But, I am anxious to see how it's going to turn out, and the next, next decade or so, say, how the society is going to turn out, whether if there is zero trust and everybody's looking for that private home life where you don't talk to anybody and keep to yourselves, or how you said that change is possible and anything can happen.
We don't have to accept anything we don't want to accept. And I think that's the mindset of a lot of us, unfortunately, is we see stuff we don't like and we go, that's just the way it is. And I mean, if everybody says it's just the way it is, then yeah, it's going to be the way it is. But if you say, I don't want to deal with my deodorant being behind glass. Like if you say that, we don't want to deal with, the New York City thing where it's like if you steal 6 times in a row, you just keep getting released. Then we can say that. And I don't know. I mean, it might take some time for things to change, but nonetheless, thank you for the call. All right. You guys want to get into some news now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you ready for some news?
I'm ready.
This is a good one. A New Jersey tourist is the second person this spring to be gored by a Yellowstone bison.
I don't like this word gored. Because I read this headline and I thought this guy got ripped to shreds.
Because gore makes you think it
yeah, what's up with the word gored and using it in this circumstance? Josh, do you have the definition for us?
Gored is a word with 2 distinct meanings. It can refer to the past tense of the verb gore, meaning to wound or stab with a horn.
Oh.
That's what I took it as. Like, did he get a horn went through him?
They say he got gored, but they said minor injuries. I feel like
he still got stabbed with the horn of the bison.
How is that a minor injury?
Yeah, that sounds pretty major.
That sounds like I'm gonna die. But yeah, this guy actually didn't die. But leave it to a guy from New Jersey to get gored by a bison in Yellowstone. Come on, guys, we gotta be better.
Right. This is the same people who are like, oh, look, that bear is so cute. Let me go take a selfie with it.
Let me go pet this deer on the side of the road. This is a bison.
A New Jersey man was gored by a Yellowstone National Park bison, the second person this year to feel the wrath of the 2-ton beast when they get too close. The victim, a 30-year-old man from Randolph, shout out to Randolph, was attacked by the bison just before 10 a.m. Tuesday in the Upper Geyser Basin, not far from Old Faithful. Man, I miss Yellowstone.
It's a good spot.
He was part of a large group of visitors who approached the animal, which then charged the group and struck the man. The victim was left with minor injuries and transported by emergency personnel for treatment, according to the Park Service. His identity has not been revealed, and the incident remains under investigation. So there's another guy from Florida who approached a bison and got injured as well, which...
Of course, it's the Florida man
I was
and
going to
Jersey
say,
man.
Shout out to Florida, always getting in some trouble. This is a thing when you go to these national parks, and this is a good message to our Jersey residents this summer. If you go to a national park, and I don't want to speak for this guy from Randolph, because it sounds like they said he approached the bison. I don't know. You ever go to Yellowstone or any of these national parks, people have such a misunderstanding of wild animals where they think they can go, oh, it's a bear. Like, let me go get a picture with it. It's like, that's a wild animal.
I'm going to get out of my car, snag a pic really quickly, and then get right back into my car. It's like, no, that animal might feel threatened and come charging after you. And guess what? You're not going to outrun it.
Yeah. I mean, I saw one time I was driving in Yellowstone and there was a brown bear just walking along and people were out of their cars like 100 feet away from this thing.
That thing will rip you apart. That thing will gore you to death.
It'll gore you. Yeah.
I was in the Smoky Mountains once and I saw that with, I think it was the Smoky Mountains, with a moose. There are a couple.
Those are scary.
There are a couple.
They're huge.
They're massive, but they're all females, and they had like a park ranger come, and he's like, everybody has to we were just sitting in the car, but he's like, everybody that was out, he's like, you have to back up and all this stuff. He's like, because wherever there's females, he's like, there's probably a male right on the edge of the woods right there, and he's like,
watching them.
They'll be, out here in a second. They could just destroy you.
I just don't understand how stupid some people could be. Like they don't.
Because I mean, people aren't used to interacting with these huge wild animals. You
I
almost
guess
think
in
you could,
Jersey, like you see deer all the time. They probably think, oh, it's safe because I see
almost-
deer all the time. Deer's not going to attack me. Let me see a bison.
like I feel like people think you can interact with it like a dog, where you're just gonna go up and it's gonna be nice to you.
I can't just wrap my head around the way some people think, man. It doesn't make any sense. People are nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank God this guy's alive. Bison could have easily destroyed him and killed him, but he's alive. So minor injuries, thank God.
So bison are not predators, but are known to charge when they feel threatened with their sharp horns, a sheer size making them a formidable danger.
I mean, look at a bison, dude. Do you want to get rammed by that thing?
I was at the Turtleback Zoo recently looking at the American. They have an American bison.
They got a bison there?
Yeah, they have a few of them.
Wait, we saw it when we
They're
went.
smaller. They're smaller than the ones that you see in Yellowstone, I feel like.
Okay.
Because the Yellowstone ones you see some huge ones. They're the size of your car. But I feel like the bison is an underappreciated image of an underappreciated kind of symbol for America. Like we like the eagle. I feel like the bison should be our animal. They're so stinking cool.
They're pretty tough.
The American bison is like, if you see one in person, they are an awesome animal.
They
like
look tough.
very, very threatening looking but also majestic. And yeah, I would recommend not going near them because they're huge. When we were in Yellowstone in your Jeep,
I'm pretty sure we saw one cross the road or something.
we drove next to one, I remember,
Yeah.
and it was the same size as your Jeep Liberty at the time.
Yeah, that thing could roll my Jeep if it wanted to.
It definitely could have done damage. So I don't know. So ladies and gentlemen,
Stay away.
wild animals, stay
And
away.
if you're in New Jersey and you see a black bear or you see a deer, you should still not approach those either because you never know what's going to happen. That thing might get angry and just, especially if it's got cubs near it, like don't approach it.
I've had a deer hiss at me before.
Really?
Yeah.
But you ever see the deer with the antlers?
Yeah.
Like those are the ones that can actually come.
bucks?
The bucks. Sorry, I was looking for that word. Yeah. Don't mess with a buck. Like that thing will wreck you too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But I feel like the female deer, like
Protecting the young.
they're not gonna do. That
Yeah,
much.
but you ever walk by a buck, dude? Like a
Oh, yeah,
fully grown
those
buck?
I-
Those
those
things
I
are
wouldn't-
scary.
I wouldn't walk near.
Yeah.
Yeah, nonetheless, you got to be careful with animals. I think deer are kind of majestic. I saw one the other day. I was like, I feel like we take deer for granted because we see them so frequently.
We do.
You see a doe. They're very beautiful animals. Something that you should not approach either, of course, like you said. But they run away typically.
Yeah.
So let's move on here to another story out of Moorestown. Not Morris.
Moorestown.
Moorestown, New Jersey.
Moorestown.
An explosives lab was found in the basement of a teen's home in Moorestown, New Jersey.
Quite concerning for the public.
Yeah, so police say what appears to have started as a science project resulted in the FBI and New Jersey State Police discovering a bomb lab in the basement of one team's Moorestown home.
No big deal. Just a science project.
It just got carried away.
Officials are not identifying the teenager, nor could they say if he was in custody as of late Monday afternoon. Authorities did say his parents are fully cooperating. Police say it does not appear the teen had any targets or made any threats. The discovery was made Saturday after a teenager called police when she was among a group of young people working on a science project. The teenage suspect apparently went to the backyard of a home on Cove Road and detonated several explosives. So the police response led to the execution of a search warrant on the home the teen shares with his parents in the 400 block of East Oak Ave. Inside, authorities say they found a lab in the basement with materials for explosive devices. Here's a quote. It said, he had a lab in the basement that had additional explosive material, so that was removed because of the volatility of the material that was detonated in the backyard. It was a decent-sized lab in the basement, Riley continued. The bomb tech said it was not a normal type home lab. So,
There's a normal type of
bomb lab,
home bomb lab,
Right?
Like, it's a typical one.
he brought his material over to help him build what they wanted to build. So when police served a search warrant on the team's home, they detonated volatile material discovered. So neighbors felt the explosion.
Wow.
One neighbor heard the commotion and said, I thought there was an earthquake or something. I didn't realize what was going on. During a news conference, Riley stated, at this point, we're pretty confident that there are no threats out there. The Moorestown School District swept several schools as a precaution, including Moorestown High School, William Allen Middle School, and Upper Elementary School. So, FBI's on the case. Local police are on the case.
I think this kid wasn't trying to harm anyone.
No, it sounds like he literally
Because
just
it
got carried
sounds
away.
like he brought his classmates over to work on a science project in his basement. And I want to know what the science project was. But like, if you're bringing your classmates over to check out your home lab, I don't think you have any ill intent. Or else you wouldn't bring people over.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and I know this is going to make people uncomfortable, but there's a difference between making explosives because you want to blow people up and like being a 16-year-old kid playing with fireworks.
Exactly.
And that's what I want to know. Like, was he making a mega firework? Like, what was the?
Yeah, maybe he's a genius and we don't even know. He didn't mean to freak everyone out.
Maybe he was just a terrorist. I don't know. But I agree with you. It's based on what we just read, based only on the articles we're reading.
Yeah.
Not based on I wasn't there, and I'd love to hear from one of those bomb guys that shows up with the big suit on. It sounds like he's just being a stupid teenage guy and needs, maybe some closer supervision.
I mean, listen, when we were younger, we brought the mortars to the local park, put a bucket on top of it, lit the mortar, huge explosion. It sounded like an earthquake. I know it's completely different because it's fireworks, but we all make stupid decisions when we're young. And like the article said, like they don't think there's any threats to the school. I think the kid is just having some fun, trying to figure out, I don't know, maybe he is really smart with science and he didn't realize he's building an actual threatening lab in his basement. That is a concern.
Also, how do the parents not know you have a bomb lab in your basement?
That too, that's kind of weird. Or maybe the parents like just think maybe he's a scientist. He's really smart and they thought he was just doing regular scientific activities. I don't know.
Yeah,
it could go any way.
And they did say it's not a normal bomb lab, so maybe the parents couldn't recognize that. They're used to seeing normal ones.
I mean, I think he's innocent just because he brought classmates over. Like, if you were doing something
you wouldn't just
illegal,
other
you
people
wouldn't
like
be
that. Check this out.
showing your classmates what you got cooking in the basement.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just proud of it, and that's why he wanted to show it off to his classmates, being like, "Listen, we're gonna get an A+ on this science project, guys, because look what I got cooking in the
I just
basement."
built a bomb.
I don't know. It's nonetheless, luckily nobody was hurt. I would love more context here. Was this kid growing up? See, guys are different now. I feel like when I was a kid, I knew kids that were obsessed with like the military, surplus gear, and blowing stuff up, and they all end up joining like the army or the Marines. Like, do you guys know anybody like that growing up? Like kids that were just really like
overly into it.
Yeah, they were really into like war. It's like that was their like. Some kids are into trucks. They were into like, I want to go to war, which I think is awesome. By the way, this is not a like. I think that young boys that are born with this like desire to like join the Marines, like that's the coolest thing ever. And sometimes in doing that, you learn methods. I don't know. I'm not applying my experience to this random kid on the internet. But, some of those kids would do some pretty crazy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I know someone that would blow stuff up. It's just like a crazy thing to
He's
say.
not a terrorist. He's just a kid that likes that
just
kind of stuff.
Like a boy that now doesn't blow stuff up anymore as an adult. But, they...
See, that would be concerning if they brought it into the adulthood.
Yeah, it's like you're 16. You want to play around with some fire.
That's it, man. You're just having some fun. You're not locked to an iPad 24/7. You're building explosives for fun because it's fun to blow things up, especially when you're not trying to harm someone.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of like if you want to, I don't know, what, like a kid can't just blow some stuff up anymore. I mean, like, come on, guys.
A kid can't build a bomb anymore. What the heck?
Yeah, this used to be a great country.
If you had your neighbor right now, Josh, it's like a 16-year-old. You start hearing explosives every single day in the back. You're calling the cops,
saying, "Get him out of here." No,
so,
listen. We can't have people blowing stuff up. I'm just saying
you got to be cautious. That's it.
As an adult, I say, get rid of this. We can't have it. As a 15-year-old, I'm like, I get him. I get what he's doing.
So I want to know the parents' perspective. I wonder, like, if they're just like, come on, let the kid have some fun.
Does this kid have a track record of being like an isolated, scary teenager that wants to hurt people? Or is he like, he starts messing around first with, what is it, baking soda and vinegar, and then it escalates, and he's like, oh yeah, what's next? What's next? This all started with the volcano project that went awry.
Which was the coolest science project in elementary school. I loved making the volcano.
All right, let's move on here to another story. So Democrat Mikey Sherrill and Republican Jack Ciattarelli are facing off for the New Jersey governor's race.
Cage match, baby.
Whoa.
Whoa, I didn't mean to punch the mic there, but
Cage match.
Going head to head, bro.
Yeah, this is
Finally,
interesting.
we're here.
We've the wheat have been separated from the chaff, and I honestly thought Stephen Fulop had a chance on the Democrat
Didn't
side.
even come close.
And I honestly thought Spadia would do better than he did on the Republican side. It was kind
close.
of a blowout on both sides, which I guess makes it easier because then this is what the people want. So let's keep moving forward with the options here.
I think, great, we have our two candidates now. But I think it's funny when you look back at the other people who ran, right? That Sean Spiller guy who was backed by the NJEA, the biggest teachers union.
Sean Spiller, don't even know the name.
Yeah, so I saw online that for each vote he got, it cost the NJEA like $500.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow, I found it. NJEA spent more than $500 for every vote Sean Spiller received.
Isn't that crazy?
We
That's
just
rough,
wasted
dude.
money.
Just
Just
rough.
wasted money.
like, give me that money next time.
Exactly.
I won't even run. Just give it to me. Yeah, you're right, Jimmy. It says they spent upwards of $45 million to elect him.
Oh my gosh.
For a 5th place finish. That's rough.
You know what the thing about politics is that I'm realizing is some people are just winners. And it's not... some people have an X factor that helps them to win. And I don't know what that is. Like on whichever party you're voting for. Some people just have the thing that makes them win. I thought Fulop, I heard him speak and I was like, I would be surprised if he doesn't win on the Dem side because he just feels... The video I saw was like I could see him winning. And then Spadia had kind of this like, storm around him of really dedicated people where I was like, I could see him pulling off like an underdog victory. But no, I mean, and it might be just party ties. Like people know who they're voting. They know Jack. They know Mikey. So they're going to vote for him,
I'm surprised that Spadia didn't do better just for the name recognition alone.
Also, I saw so many Spadia signs driving around all
I
New
did
Jersey.
too. That's why I was like, I wouldn't be
place.
surprised if he gets like, it's like a 40-60 split between him and Jack.
Yeah. But right, Jack has the name recognition too. It's the 3rd time he's ran.
And he came close last time to winning.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. So Republican Jack Ciattarelli, who has President Donald Trump's endorsement, and Democratic Rep Mikey Sherrill won their primary elections in New Jersey's governor race this week, setting the stage for a November election poised to be fought in part over affordability and the president's policies. So Sherrill emerged from a crowded field of 5 experienced rivals on the strength of her biography as a Navy pilot and a former prosecutor. Bum, bum, bum. I love how politicians craft the story. It's like the origin story. In a victory speech, she criticized Ciattarelli as a lackey of the president's, invoked New Jersey's role in the American Revolution, and hinted at the state's role as one of just 2 holding a race for governor a year after the presidential election. So it sounds like she's positioning herself as the anti-Trump sort of candidate.
Of course.
And I think this is where what I heard Fulop say that I thought was actually brilliant, was he was saying there's 2 ways to view this election. It's either a response to the Trump election or it's a response to Murphy. And I think depending on how you look at it, Fulop's thought was he thinks this is going to be a response to Murphy. People are going to be voting either they liked Murphy's policies or they didn't like them. And Cheryl's kind of taking the stance of it's either people are pro-Trump or against Trump, and that's going to be her line of thinking.
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting sort of thing. We'll have to see how it plays out for her. And then, Ciattarelli, a former state lawmaker and small businessman, defeated 4 rivals. He now heads into the general election seeking to win back the governorship for Republicans after 2 straight Democratic victories, and hoping to build on his 2021 performance when he came within a few percentage points of defeating current governor Democrat Phil Murphy. Speaking to supporters after his victory Tuesday night, he thanked Trump for endorsing him, telling the crowd, "We won because we were positive. We had the issues that matter." So the crowd loudly booed when he mentioned Murphy. So there you go. So I mean, I think that's Jack's block is people that don't want Murphy any. He called her Murphy 2.0, Cheryl. So we'll have to see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close, just like last time.
I think so, actually.
I think gone are the days that we find out the results of the election on election night.
It doesn't have to be that way, though. This is the thing. Is like this is one.
Why is it so bad? We should be getting quicker.
Look, this is one partisan issue I will outright say on the podcast. I don't know why we don't have a voting system where it's locked in within an hour of polls closing. You know what's going on. We can.
It's 2025.
We have the internet. We have AI. We can. Elon Musk is landing rockets. We can't figure out voting.
Well, right. It's not consistent throughout the state. You look at different like voting things throughout the state, and everyone has different like polling machines and stuff.
But some people are just still so outdated.
I think so. I like that's a good question. Like, who actually supplies these voting machines? Is it the town buys them? Like
who's
the county? I don't know. I have no idea.
Regardless,
I know nothing about
I think
it.
it's totally intentional. I think that
how can a town, like a tiny little town who has like still like write-in ballots or whatever,
it's probably by district that they organize.
It's a good question.
I would assume.
Regardless, I was reading about there's nations around the world, like third world nations, that hold same day elections and get everything in one day.
Yeah.
And it's like we are the most advanced society. Because here's the reality is, for both, the reason it's important is for Trump in 2020, people thought there was shenanigans. Kamala this time around, people thought there were shenanigans. It's like both sides need to have faith that the system actually works. Otherwise, again, we can't have a civil society. Yeah. So it seems like this should be the priority is let's make everybody trust the voting process and make it super legit. Like, I don't know. It just feels kind of ridiculous that there's, like Jimmy said, gone are the days of knowing the night of. I remember with the Jack thing, I was watching the polls come in at like 11 o'clock at night. And you just didn't know. It was like, oh, Bergen County's about to come in, and they were like really super close. And then Bergen County came and it split towards Murphy. And it's kind of funny how it just feels sort of like, it takes time. It's going to take probably a few days, like Jimmy's saying.
It's wild. So yeah,
we're going to be waiting on Ocean County to give us the votes, right, Jim?
Yeah, who knows?
Jordan was saying last night, like when these politicians wanted to come onto our podcast, we should have like told them all the same date and time. So we get like Chitterelli and we get like
at the same time.
We get Mikey to show up to the podcast at the same time, so that we can have like a live debate. Yeah, really throw them off. Do you think like they'd just walk out, or like one person would leave?
I don't know.
I think they'd be cool about it, because then
that'd be awesome.
The one that leaves looks bad.
Yeah, because we would film immediately.
Guys, the cameras are live. Welcome to the podcast.
I wonder if they're allowed to do that, because they have to do like so many debates. Like, can they only appear at that same time for those things?
I don't know, but it's like throwing two lions in a cage. Like, the first one that bows out is you're going to go, well, I guess you're not the alpha here.
Because the power is on us. Like, all we got to do is say the date and time, and then we don't have to give any more information. If they want to come to our pod, it's their decision.
I have a really great...
that was so funny.
I have a great Nathan for You concept.
Yeah.
That's the first half, Jordan. We get them to come, and we say, hey, would you mind wearing a piece of our merch? And it has like our logo on it, like a t-shirt. But then we do like that invisible black light ink that has text on it. And as soon as the interview starts, we flip the light on and it says like, we give Mikey a shirt that says I Heart Jack. And then he has one that says I Heart Mikey, whatever her name is. And we just make them like love each other. You know, we make it a thing. Like, we make them become friends on the podcast.
Put them right next to each other and now hug.
Like, how could we set them up to just be best buds? You know, like we could like have them sit down and we'll
This is how we bring Jersey together. That's our goal.
I think that would be beautiful.
I think
enough of this division,
and they could run together, because I want to vote for both of them anyway. So I'm like, I think that would make it a lot easier for me.
Do you think you could do that?
I'm going to try.
Nice.
That's my goal.
Good luck.
I'm going to try and click both at the same time, see what happens.
You know, in a world where it feels like they're shifting norms around everything, you know, like what used to be normal isn't normal anymore because it's a new age, right? Things are different. You would think there would be a 2-person ticket where they're like, we're both going to be governor together.
Like, why not?
Like, why can't we be like, look, we are one person. We're going to run together.
That'd be a fun
lieutenant
prank.
governor.
Yeah.
Like at the polling station, like you walk into the booth and you walk back out. Guys, I need help. I'm trying to vote for both. It's not letting me.
It's not lighting up.
Start creating a whole entire scene. Everyone's like, what?
Man.
Why are you voting?
Guys, we gotta move on to our last story. This is hard-hitting journalism we're gonna close out with. Like,
another dark story to close. Crazy.
I hate having to do this, but this is where we need to end. So, New Jersey is hosting a tree climbing competition this weekend.
Wow. I didn't know this was a thing, but that's incredible.
I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, so this is a niche sporting event highlighting the skill and expertise of professional arborists from across the state of New Jersey and beyond.
Are these the guys that are like the actual? Because you see professional guys who are chopping down trees and stuff. And you see them climbing. So are these the type of guys, or it's just like a hobby of people who like to climb trees like a bear?
It sounds like this is the arborists who are doing it.
So cool.
Yeah.
So professional arborists will take to the trees of Cooper River Park in Camden County on Friday, June 13th, and Saturday, June 14th for the annual New Jersey tree climbing competition. So the competition will begin on Friday at 10 a.m. With the thorough inspection of the personal gear each competitor anticipates utilizing throughout the competition. Once this inspection is complete, the competitor may complete the ascent event or the belayed speed climb. So they're going to be climbing and ascending from these trees. I think this sounds like a fun little Saturday. You're hanging out with your friends. Let's go watch the tree climb competition.
Dude, they're probably flying. You know, there's some guy that's been planning all year for this.
You know, it's funny how certain things become major sporting events like running or like the high jump. Why is there not a major sporting event for climbing? It is like the third natural. You have running, jumping, and then climbing feels like the third.
Well, they do
natural.
have like rock climbing in the Olympics.
Yeah, but is it in the Olympics?
It is, yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
I never seen it once.
I'm
in
like
the Olympics.
99% sure it's in the Olympics.
I feel like rock climbing is just a step away from what climbing should be. I think tree climbing makes way more sense.
It's cool. It's like
Jimmy?
look
at that. Yes, rock climbing is an official Olympic sport. It made its debut in 2020 in Tokyo.
That's crazy because I've never seen it before.
They have like 2 events, I think. It's like the speed climbing where they just have a wall. It's insane. You got to see how fast these people can climb a wall. They literally, it looks like they're just running up it. And then they have like the bouldering one where you got to figure out.
What is the deal with rock climbing? Is it need a new... I mean, it's cool. It's a cool sport. But do you think it needs... In the same way golf went through a refresh in the last decade, and now everybody loves golf.
Yeah,
right?
Screw COVID. COVID ruined golf for everyone.
Well, it made golf popular again for a lot of the next generation of guys. Yeah. How do we do that with rock climbing?
I feel like it's already so popular.
It is really popular.
I don't think it's as popular as it could be, though.
Dude, look at rock gyms. I feel like rock gyms are packed.
Yeah, because there's like 4 of them every square 100 miles. So
well, like compared to how it was like 6 years ago, it was empty 6 years ago. Like how popular it got.
But what I'm saying is like, even as popular as it is, how do we... Because it should be, in my opinion, because if you think about it in the frame of running, right now, everybody runs. Running is like you drive home today, you're going to see 6 runners on the road.
Yeah.
Golf, packed out, right? How do we make rock climbing into a national beloved pastime?
Well, I think one of the issues is there's a fairly high barrier to entry. Like it's rock climbing is really hard.
Yeah, it's not like running.
And you get injured like extremely easily. Like you could injure your hand super easily. You could fall. Like so. One of the issues is like you're gonna start at one of the like V0 or V1, and you top out really quick. Where it's like okay, these are too easy, but then you move on to the next one. You're like okay, this one's way too hard for me, and it's like where do I go from here? Like there's no
Also, like the scenery around you, like when you go to Colorado, you see so many more people climbing because there's so many more outdoor areas to climb compared to like New Jersey.
I don't think that's the issue, Jordan, because I don't think in order to... my point wasn't how do we make everybody want to go rock climbing. My point was who is the greatest rock climber of all time?
See, we don't know.
Who's the greatest?
Say someone who does like all these free solo.
I mean, they say
stuff.
like
Alex
Honnold
Let me ask you this.
probably the most popular.
Who is the greatest NASCAR driver of all time? Probably Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, the documentary just came out. Who's the greatest golfer of all time?
Tiger Woods.
Easy.
Okay, so like who's the greatest runner of all time? Arguably, fastest ever lived.
Can't tell you.
Bolt.
Oh yeah,
Bolt. Usain Bolt. So like we can with even sports you don't watch, but you pass. Who's the greatest tennis player? Like I don't think I've ever watched tennis, but like Jimmy? Who's the greatest tennis player? Would you say?
I don't know.
Djokovic, right?
I'm not sure.
But like still, a name, right? And like
Serena Williams.
Yeah, like the names. And I've never watched tennis in my life.
Yeah, but I feel like most people would know Alex Honnold.
You're right, but that's because of a movie. He's not a competitor. He's a free solo.
I hate free soloists though.
So like my thing is
scary.
Rock climbing, right? Climbing is such a natural part of the human body. I feel like we climb. Maybe like not in your everyday life, but it's just something that our bodies can do. We can climb stuff. They need to. I really think there's an opportunity here for like rock climbing to become a major event that people care about. And I think my perspective is the issue with why it hasn't become that is because there's too much variance in the climbing sort of experiences. Like you were just saying, like there's the V1, the V0. If there was a singular event that we could point to, then you'd have legends, I think.
Yeah, because every gym you go to, like the ranking system's a little different. Like you go to one, you're like, wow, I'm really good. And you go to the other one, you're like, wow, I suck.
Well, people need to track. Like if you think about the 100 meter, like or the 400 meter, like these are events that everybody can point to, and we've always done them. But if you think about it, I could see in the next 50 years they're becoming like rock climb, or maybe not, maybe just climbing becoming like a major thing. I'm surprised it feels like
I think
a gold rush
it
is
could be good with the speed climbing because it's just like a standardized wall. I don't think they've changed the pattern
same
at
wall
all.
every time.
I'm pretty sure
what's this like the angle of pitch?
I'm pretty sure it's just flat.
Oh, it's flat.
You got to look up a video of it. It's actually
crazy,
insane
dude.
how fast these people can go up the wall. It's like just a couple seconds and they're all
I'll
the way
have to check it out later.
So if you're interested, guys, that's happening this weekend, this tree climbing competition in Cooper River Park in Camden. Friday, June 13th, so when this episode goes live, and then Saturday, June 14th. So it says on Saturday, June 14th, the day will begin at 7 a.m. with a tactical breakfast sponsored by Husqvarna, the lawnmower company. Competitors will walk to each of the final three preliminary events for a detailed explanation of each by various head judges. Aerial rescue, work climb, and throw ball test for each climber's competency in assessing and responding to an emergency climbing situation aloft, accuracy and agility at routine maintenance tasks, and the expedient setting of ropes in a tree. So these are the things they're going to be doing, which that sounds like a foreign language to me, but I guess those are all different events they're working through. Again, a team of 5 judges will assess each climber at the preliminary events, while a team of administrators track scoring across the 5 events. By mid-afternoon, the scores will be tallied and preliminary winners will be announced for men and women. So the top 3 competitors will be escorted to a location removed from the site of the competition, while the final Masters Challenge is prepared for these competitors, both male and female. So it sounds very like the way they're describing this. It sounds very much like the Masters. Like you're going to get a green jacket at the end of this.
Well, look at the next paragraph. It's crazy.
Male and female champions of the Masters Challenge will earn the right to represent the state of New Jersey at the International Tree Climbing Competition in Christchurch, New Zealand this coming October.
I go to New Zealand.
That's crazy.
Guys,
Jimmy, you should climb a tree.
Can you guys send me there to cover the event?
That would be great coverage, Jim.
Actually, if you want to go down, Friday or Saturday and get some videos, this would be a great.
No. I'm saying New Zealand.
He doesn't care about the jersey.
If you go to this one, then we'll send you to New Zealand.
Listen, if one of these guys, I guess someone's going to make it to New Zealand, we'll pay for your flight. You can just go out there, Jimmy.
Thank you
for all the hard work you've done at the Garden State.
I want to look up the International Tree Climbing Competition and see what this looks like. Let's get some images of these.
Man,
it's basically
I should
people
have gone into this.
People in neon wearing hard hats climbing trees.
Sick.
I mean, yeah, you need the hard hat just in case you fall and hit a branch. That would suck.
So, yeah, guys, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, we got you covered. Go on down to the tree climbing competition.
I wish it was closer to us, or I would definitely check it out. I just don't feel like driving down to Cooper River Park. It's not far. It's like an hour. It's like an hour 10 from us.
Yeah,
It's
hour
not
10.
bad.
Not bad.
It's still. That'd be a fun little niche sport to get into, even if I don't work as a
arborist.
Arborist. I wonder if like people just do it for fun and still enter, or you have to be an arborist.
It sounds like you got to be an arborist, but who knows?
Well, why not? Why can't this be like a leisurely sport? Tree climbing.
Know.
It probably is.
I wish I knew.
Well, that's our last story of the week, everybody. We can officially wrap this podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening to another week of the Garden State. We appreciate all our listeners. Be sure to call into the mailbag this week if you got any questions or topics you want to talk about. We'd love to hear from you. And we will see you next Friday with more New Jersey news, jargon, conversation, and nonsense. Have an awesome weekend. Check out the tree climbing competition, and we'll see you next week.
And buy some Garden State 4th of July merch.
Yes. Later.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.
You guys are turning into old men.